Have you ever loved someone who hurt you deeply, yet you still couldn't let go? You knew they weren't right for you. The red flags were there. Your friends warned you. Your mind understood the reality, but your heart kept choosing the same person, the same pain, again and again. This experience is far more common than we like to admit. And the truth is, falling in love with the wrong person is not a sign of weakness or bad judgment. It's often a sign of something deeper happening inside us. Many of us grow up believing that love is something magical and random, something that just happens. But psychology tells a different story. Our choices in love are not accidents. They are shaped by our past, our childhood experiences, and the emotional patterns we learned early in life. What feels exciting, intense, or irresistible to us is often what feels familiar. And sometimes familiarity doesn't mean healthy. Sometimes it means emotional chaos, inconsistency, or distance that we unknowingly learn to associate with love. In today's episode, we're not here to blame ourselves for past relationships or label anyone as toxic. We're here to understand why our heart keeps choosing the same kind of people, even when it leads to pain. When we understand the psychology behind attraction, attachment, and emotional wounds, we gain something powerful: awareness. And awareness is the first step toward breaking unhealthy patterns and choosing relationships that bring peace instead of confusion. Falling in love with the wrong person is one of the most confusing and painful experiences many people go through. What makes it even harder is knowing deep down that the relationship is not healthy, yet still feeling emotionally attached. This happens not because we enjoy pain, but because our brain and emotions are following patterns that were formed long before we became aware of them. Love is not just a feeling. It is also a learned behavior, shaped by our past experiences. One of the biggest reasons we fall for the wrong people is familiarity. Our brain is designed to seek what feels familiar, not necessarily what is healthy. If someone grew up in an environment where love was inconsistent, emotionally distant, or conditional, that same pattern can feel normal in adulthood. When we meet someone who gives mixed signals or creates emotional highs and lows, our brain recognizes it as love, even though it causes stress and confusion. Healthy, stable love can sometimes feel boring or uncomfortable simply because it is unfamiliar. Attachment styles play a major role in this process. Psychology identifies three main attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, and secure. People with an anxious attachment style often fear abandonment. They crave closeness and reassurance, and they may fall deeply for emotionally unavailable partners. The chase feels intense, and the uncertainty keeps them emotionally hooked. On the other hand, people with an avoidant attachment style fear intimacy. They may be attracted to partners who want more from them, but once things become serious, they pull away. Securely attached individuals usually feel comfortable with both closeness and independence, but those with insecure attachment styles often repeat unhealthy patterns until they become aware of them. Another reason we fall in love with the wrong people is unresolved emotional trauma. Past wounds, especially from childhood or previous relationships, can strongly influence attraction. Some people are drawn to partners they believe they can fix or save. This often comes from a deep need to feel valued or needed. Others confuse emotional intensity with love. Arguments, jealousy, and dramatic reconciliations can create a chemical rush in the brain, releasing dopamine and adrenaline. This makes the relationship feel exciting, even though it is emotionally draining. Over time, this creates trauma bonds, where pain and affection become tightly connected. Low self-worth is another powerful factor. When someone does not fully believe they deserve healthy love, they may settle for less than they need. They might tolerate disrespect, emotional neglect, or inconsistency because they fear being alone or believe this is the best they can get. The wrong partner may mirror how they already feel about themselves. In these situations, love becomes about proving worth instead of experiencing mutual respect and care. Social conditioning also plays a role in our romantic choices. Movies, music, and social media often romanticize toxic behaviors, portraying jealousy as passion and emotional distance as mystery. We are taught that love should be hard, dramatic, and painful. As a result, calm and emotionally available partners may not trigger the same excitement. But real love is not about constant anxiety or confusion. It is about safety, trust, and emotional consistency. Fear of being alone keeps many people stuck in unhealthy relationships. For some, being in a relationship feels safer than facing loneliness, even if the relationship causes pain. The idea of starting over can feel overwhelming. This fear can make people ignore red flags, justify bad behavior, and hold on to hope that things will change. Unfortunately, staying in the wrong relationship often delays healing and personal growth. Breaking these patterns starts with awareness. The moment you begin to question why you are attracted to certain types of people, you are already taking a step toward change. Self-reflection helps uncover emotional triggers and attachment wounds. Understanding your own patterns allows you to make conscious choices instead of repeating unconscious habits. Healing may involve therapy, journaling, or simply allowing yourself time to be alone and reconnect with your needs. Learning to slow down in relationships is another important step. Intense connections that move too fast can hide red flags. Taking time allows you to observe how someone communicates, handles conflict, and shows consistency. Healthy love grows gradually and feels emotionally safe, not rushed or overwhelming. Choosing the right partner often requires choosing discomfort at first. Healthy relationships may feel unfamiliar if chaos was normal in the past. But with time, peace becomes more attractive than intensity. Love should not feel like constant anxiety or self-doubt. It should feel like support, understanding, and emotional security. Falling in love with the wrong people does not mean you are broken. It means you are human, shaped by experiences that once helped you survive. With awareness, healing, and self-compassion, it is possible to break old patterns and create healthier relationships. The goal is not perfection, but progress. When you heal your relationship with yourself, you naturally begin to choose people who can love you in the way you deserve. Before we end this episode, I want you to take a deep breath and be honest with yourself. If any part of this conversation reminded you of someone from your past or someone you're still holding on to, please know this: there is nothing wrong with you. You didn't fall in love with the wrong person because you are weak, broken, or foolish. You did it because your heart was trying to meet a need that was never fully met before. Love has a powerful way of exposing our deepest wounds. Sometimes we don't fall in love with a person. We fall in love with the familiar pain, the hope of being chosen, or the dream that this time things will be different. And when it doesn't work, we blame ourselves. But healing doesn't begin with blame. It begins with understanding and compassion toward yourself. If you've spent years chasing emotionally unavailable people, or staying in relationships that made you question your worth, I want you to hear this clearly. Love is not supposed to feel like constant anxiety, confusion, or fear of abandonment. Real love feels safe. It feels steady. It allows you to be yourself without begging for attention or reassurance. Choosing healthier love may feel uncomfortable at first. Peace can feel strange when chaos was normal. But discomfort is not danger. It's growth. With time, you will learn that consistency is not boring, and emotional availability is not weakness. It is what real connection looks like. If you're still healing from a past relationship, be patient with yourself. You don't need to rush into love to prove that you're okay. Take time to understand your patterns, your triggers, and your needs. The relationship you build with yourself sets the standard for every relationship that follows. As we close, remember this: the right person will not make you feel small, confused, or replaceable. The right person will bring calm, not chaos. And the moment you start choosing yourself, your peace, your healing, your self-worth, you stop falling for the wrong people and start creating space for the right kind of love. Thank you for listening and for allowing yourself to reflect. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need these words today. Until next time, be kind to your heart and trust that healthier love is possible.